Sestina, Ellis Island, Amelia Earhart. There where confounded tongues once tried to voice a couple words to get a start here in New Europe, now only pale Atlantic sunlight from a winter sky articulates the warehouse-like dimensions of Ellis Island. And yet you just can't help but think of an astonished din of immigrants talking to new lives. Ellis Island held such completely possible lives, in the way I have imagined a Pacific sky to keep Amelia Earhart from returning. I think of how she started, fronting a PR flight to Europe, then playing aviatrix in brown newsreels. No voice, waving from a wing, symbol of an era's new dimension. For her, controls must have been a fine dimension. Such peace. To rev, to pivot, to taxi, to sense overcoated lives below her, gone like a cloud of insects, or like a voice passing on the street. After the phony flight to Europe, was it fame in G.P. Putnam that kept her flying, or the sky? Sky widened into a world where she could act and think, I think. I imagine those last moments. I think of panic, hacking engines, useless compass, of two lives, Amelia, her navigator, Fred, as far from Europe and hope as possible, in the absurdly peaceful dimension created by a graceful glide toward waves, the voice of U.S. Navy radio talking to a dumb Pacific sky. Like Icarus, she was rejected by the simple physics of the sky, but Amelia is mythic because she's lost. Lost lives speak to us with an infamous, sweet, unheard voice Keats heard in a vase, spoken from a dimension of Plato's pure possibility that I think of when I think of Ellis Island, talking American to Europe. Let's think of routine tourist flights to Europe, of particular endings to specific lives in a world that kicks, thus proves, its three dimensions. Fine, but what convinces like a dream is a sky abruptly vacant, a silence in which we're afraid to think, a radio transmission that still waits for Amelia's voice. When I think of her voice lost in sky, I want the lives of all scientists, devoted to proving the dimension claiming her, where Ellis Island shapes anew a perfect Europe.